And we don't have any need for a particular number of people. I just want to make sure that that's accurate.
Yeah, other than the general guidelines that you all had set, there's no requirement for a quorum or anything of that nature. Yeah.
Okay, so we are just about ready to go then.
All right.
It is 2 o'clock. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, July 15th, 2021, and this is the first virtual public hearing of the Virginia Redistricting Commission. The focus of today's public hearing is the West Central region of the Commonwealth, and we are looking forward to hearing from you all about this area that you call home. I'm Mackenzie Babachenko, a citizen commissioner from Hanover County, and I will be acting as the presiding commissioner at today's hearing. And I'm going to ask my fellow commissioners to introduce themselves. If everyone could take a moment, Amigo, if you could maybe call each person's name in alphabetical order, that would be really great.
Okay, Madam Chair, you want me to call the full roll? I can see who's on one. I'll go ahead and just call the full roll. Mr. Abrenio?
Yes, my name is James Abrenio. I'm a Citizen Commission member from Fairfax, Virginia. Thanks for everybody coming out.
All right, Mr. Harrell?
My name's Rick Harrell, and I'm a Citizen Commissioner from South Boston, Virginia.
Senator Newman?
Hello, this is Steve Newman. I'm from Lynchburg, the 23rd District.
Delegate Adams? Delegate Adams? Delegate Simon?
Good afternoon. I am Delegate Marcus Simon. I represent the 53rd House of Delegates District, which is Falls Church City in Fairfax County. I live in the Fairfax County part of that, Eastern Fairfax County. Look forward to hearing from everybody and their thoughts on what new House, Senate, and Congressional District map should look like.
All right, Senator McDougal?
Ryan McDougal. I live in Hanover County and represent areas as far west as Spotsylvania through the northern neck and down to the Middle Peninsula as far east as Middlesex County. And I'm very excited to hear what individuals have to say about districts and what they should think they should look like going forward. Thank you for being willing to take of your time and participate.
Mr. Hutchins?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Brandon Hutchins. I'm also a citizen member from the Tidewater region. I just have to say that it's an honor and pleasure to be a part of this process. Thank you for attending.
I go back to Delegate Adams. I don't know if he can hear us, Madam Chair, but I do mark him as present because we can see him. Ms. Harris?
Yes, here.
And that is all that I see, Madam Chair. If there's anyone else whose name I have not called who is on, please make that notation or that indication there. And if
I don't see anyone else that is on that we didn't hear from except for Delegate Adams, but I'll note that he is signed on right now and present.
all right, I turn it over to you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, amigo. So a couple of housekeeping matters before we begin. I'll be calling names from a sign-up sheet, so please forgive me in advance if I make a mistake or mispronounce anyone's name. When you are called, I'd ask that you first identify yourself and tell us where you live. If you are speaking as part of a group or on behalf of a group, please identify that group as well. So given the number of people who have signed up to speak, we are going to set each person's time to no more than 3 minutes. We'll be keeping track of that time and we'll give you a 30-second warning. If a previous speaker has already stated what you would like to say, we would encourage you to simply state your name and where you live, and that you echo the comments made by another person. So the purpose of these initial public hearings, it's to hear from all of you, the citizens of the Commonwealth. And this is your time. We are here in listening mode at this point. This is the time for us to hear from you and learn from you. So we will not be taking questions or engaging in discussion or debate at these meetings. We are most interested in the factors that you want the commission to consider when we are drawing your district and your thoughts about your community and how you would or wouldn't define it or redefine it. But all the comments shared here today will be heard and considered and discussed when we're back in Richmond and beginning our map drawing work and throughout the map drawing work. So the census data is just a few weeks away, and we're hoping to get started at that time, and we can't wait to do it. So let's start hearing from our first participant. That is Bo Wright.
Not here, Madam Chair.
Okay, second on the list is Jeffrey Rosner. And Mr. Rosner, you're on. We can see you. It looks like your microphone is off mute. So are you ready to go? Mr. Rosner? Ms. Capers, are we able to send him, or can I send him a message? I don't know if he knows he's on.
Yes, you can send him a message.
Oh, let me see. It says it's not letting me change the microphone settings. Is
His
Mr.
microphone is on.
So let me see. Is he able to maybe call in by phone? Or I'm going to respond back to see if he wants to call in by phone. Ms. Capers, do we have a phone number where he can call in? It looks like 830. No, that's not a phone number. I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, let me see if I can get with Mr. Rosner offline to
Okay.
see if we can get him back in the queue. And as soon as we get him back squared away.
Thank you, amigo. And in the interim, we can move on to Daniel Tuck.
Hey, this is Daniel Tuck. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Tuck. We are ready to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, sorry about that delay. I was doing a Red Cross blood donation. They got a little sidetracked. So I was asked to speak by a couple of people in our community.
Yes, go ahead.
I think we lost him, Madam Chair. Hopefully he can sign back in.
That is what it looks like.
Can you remind these folks to say where they're from?
I will remind them, yes. It seems like we're having a bit of a connection issue, but in the interim, I do see Delegate Adams. Delegate Adams, if you want to quickly introduce yourself, since we didn't hear from you while doing the initial roll. Just who you represent.
Yes, and thank you. I'm sorry, I had the sound wasn't on at that moment, but at any rate, this is Delegate Adams. I represent the 16th House District, which includes Pennsylvania County, Henry County, and the city of Martinsville. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And I see Daniel Tuck is back in the attendees. Are we able, Ms. Capers, are we able to get him back into our panel? Okay, Mr. Tuck, we have you back. If you want to take your microphone off and let us know where you're from and who you're speaking on behalf of.
Thank you. I'm sorry about that. I am Daniel Stephen Tuck. I'm from Lynchburg, Virginia, speaking on behalf of myself as a concerned citizen. I think that Lynchburg would be best represented as one community of interest because we do our elections like that. We have like one city council. There's a number of posts that are they're just one ballot for people in the city of Lynchburg. And right now we're split between House of Delegates District 22 and District 23, which is confusing for a number of people. Also, it would better represent the way that Lynchburg tends to vote in a public elections. We tend to be split roughly 50-50 between Democrats and Republicans. And that's not really represented in the way that House of Delegates District 22 and District 23 cut through Lynchburg. So it creates more incentive for more extreme candidates. Whereas in a community like Lynchburg, where you have roughly 50% of the population identifies as vaguely liberal and 50% identifies as vaguely conservative, it encourages candidates to run towards the center. And I think we could all agree that we benefit from that, centrist candidates from either party. And I think that it would just help with Lynchburg's identity. And I know that it wouldn't perfectly align. There's no way to align a district perfectly around city limits, but it would be less confusing for area voters. It would be easier for one delegate to represent such an area. And due to Lynchburg's history, we used to be like that. I think that would be a better move for all of us. I don't know if you guys have a question for me as a panelist. I'm not super well prepared. I'm a pint low on blood. I just came from the Red Cross.
I don't have any questions at this time. We're really just listening to what your thoughts are. This is your opportunity to kind of tell us anything you want to about your area. And it seems like you've done that.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak, ma'am.
We appreciate your comment. Thank you very much. And thank you for taking the time to be here. So next we have Megan Doney.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes, Miss Doney. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Thanks. Though I am calling from Christiansburg, and the main point that I just want to communicate is that Christiansburg, Blacksburg, and Radford form a community of interest. And along this stretch of the 81 corridor, we have a lot of an interconnected economy, cultures, demographics. People commute within the area regularly, and so that's my main contribution. That I think that those towns form a community of interest.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your comment.
Thank you so much for listening.
How is Mr. Rossner doing? Are we able to key him back up?
Madam Chair, we're still working on that. If you can go to the next one, we're still working on Mr. Ross.
We can. So let's hear from James Harder.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear. Oh, I can hear you. I'm assuming I'll be told if everyone else is having hearing issues. Yes, we cannot see you though. So if that's intentional, then go ahead.
Okay, thanks so much for the opportunity to speak. I'm similar to Megan. I'm from the Blacksburg area and calling to represent the fact that I'd really love to see Blacksburg and Christiansburg and the Radford areas as represented as a singular district, or potentially two districts as they might be parceled out. The other thing I'd elevate is that our community is not only just a commercially interested thing, but we're three universities kind of located here: New River Community College, Virginia Tech, and Radford. And I think the idea that we might have a little bit more of a strong representation from those areas really is important to us. I think the last thing that I would throw out there too is I was actually a former House of Delegates race. I ran against Joseph Yost, who was a former delegate a couple years back. And one of the things that we actually had similar interest on is this issue itself. We actually needed to have like printouts to even walk our district to go door to door. There were some streets that literally were half a different district and half another district. And I think very obviously being parceled up and packaged politically to represent political interest was really a frustrating part of that campaign. I don't mean that in any real political way, but I think having a community of interest put kind of bounds around it and not basically poaching several seats off of like one specific street or certain area or something like that to kind of politicize it is really a frustrating part of the way an election can be run. And I hope you guys will consider that as you look at the whole state, but also as you look at our community too, because we really do have a very
You're cutting out a little.
love to see represented.
Oh, and you're cutting
It's got to
out.
be a frustrating.
Mr. Harder, you're cutting out probably that last 20 seconds. Can you back up a little bit? You were going in and out. I couldn't understand what you were saying. Hello?
Be losing you.
I think we're having some technical difficulties.
No worries. I was really just finishing by saying thank you guys for your time and service in doing this. I know it's going to be a frustrating process, and I hope you'll find ways that you can represent all communities of interest throughout the state.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and we do appreciate you taking the time to come make a comment. So thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Next, we have Robert Beckman.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Okay.
can hear and see you. Go ahead, Mr.
All right.
Mr. Beckman.
Terrific.
Welcome.
Well, sorry, it took me a while to get connected. Okay, I am from Blacksburg. I am representing a number of groups here that are organized around the Montgomery County, Floyd, Giles, Radford, economic groupings, the universities, the industries. We have a high-tech cluster here, a manufacturing cluster, advanced manufacturing. We are really more or less a almost 200,000 person unit of common interest, a great many common interests here. So I certainly agree with the comments that were made by my colleagues, Megan Doney and James Harder. Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us today and sharing that. Next person that I have is Peggy Lane.
Hello, thank you all for this opportunity to speak. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, welcome, Miss Lane. Please
Great.
tell us why you're here.
I'm Peggy Lane. I live in Blacksburg, and I first want to thank all of you for all the time and energy that you're putting into this critical work of redistricting. I've been tracking your activities from the beginning. In fact, I had applied to serve on the commission, and now that I see how much time and effort is involved, I think I may be happy that I wasn't selected, but I do appreciate the opportunity to speak, and I agree with the previous speakers regarding the situation here in Blacksburg and Montgomery County. As you probably know, Blacksburg is home to the main campus of Virginia Tech. I know Co-Chair Harris is very familiar with Blacksburg as a member of Tech's Board of Visitors. And our community is greatly impacted by the presence of the university, which is the largest employer in the area and draws not only from Blacksburg and Montgomery County, but from the surrounding counties as well. And in addition to employment, the university brings the community together around cultural and, of course, sporting events from across the Commonwealth. But currently, Montgomery County split across 3 House of Delegate districts and 2 state Senate districts. And the town of Blacksburg is also split across House districts. In fact, the Virginia Tech campus is split between 2 delegate districts, which causes confusion for the resident students and a lot of work for our hardworking and outstanding registrar who oversees the administration of the elections here. So I just want to add my voice to some of the previous speakers to say that I think that our community's interest would be better served if the entire town had the same delegate representing us in the General Assembly. And while I recognize that the population of Montgomery County is larger than a single delegate district, our interest would be better served if the majority of the county residents had the same representative. So thank you again for all of your time and effort. And as you start to draw the maps, please keep Blacksburg together and Montgomery County together to the greatest extent possible.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Next, we have Matthew Gabriel.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm going to assume that you can hear me instead of asking if everybody can hear me, if that's all right. I just wanted to echo what many of my predecessors who have spoken have said and simply argue for keeping Blacksburg, Christiansburg, and Radford together, or at least, at the very least, all of Montgomery County. I won't add to kind of what they've said, but I will confirm indeed that the town of Blacksburg, the town of Christiansburg are split, sometimes right down the middle. I served from 2011 to 2015 on the Montgomery County Board of Supervisors. Just to give a little context, this is something that we on the Board of Supervisors dealt with persistently, trying to get the maps aligned so that sometimes we would try to bring the districts together so there were fewer ballots that our constituents, our residents would have to deal with unsuccessfully. Unfortunately, I'm hoping that this redistricting commission will remedy a long-standing wrong, the way that Southwestern Virginia has been treated, in which it's been carved up very unnaturally and to the detriment of our citizens. So thank you very much. Again, I hope that Montgomery County will be kept together as much as possible. At the very least, the town of Blacksburg, the town of Christiansburg, the town of Radford brought together as much as can happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. Next, I have William Bestfitch. I can see Mr. Best Pitch, but the microphone is on for him, and so is the video's off. Or I guess both are off. Can you hear me, Mr. Best Pitch? Amigo, are you able to reach out to Mr. Best Pitch to see what the issue is?
Madam Chair, first, we couldn't find anything on our end that was a problem. We had sent him a link to re-register. We didn't have a phone number for him to call in on, so that's where we stand now. We think the problem is on the other end, just in terms of him not being able to change the microphone settings. They would have to be on his computer.
And is that for Mr. Best Pitch as well?
Shay, do you know what the
Madam
status?
Chair, I would think so because I see that he is no longer
off. Okay.
shown. He's probably going to have to click the link again and rejoin because the issues are on their side.
Sure. Okay. Okay, well then we can go to Miss Heath. Carla Heath is next.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, commissioners.
Good afternoon, welcome.
My name is Carla Heath. I'm a resident of Lynchburg. Lynchburg is an independent city with a racial and ethnically diverse population of 8,000 plus. It has been the commercial center for the region since its founding in 1786. As has been said, the city has one governing body. It supports one public school system, one police and one fire department, beautiful parks, important museums, and many other services. Clearly, the city is a community of interest with benefits and challenges particular to cities elsewhere. With that in mind, I think the city would be best represented in the General Assembly by one senator and one delegate who first and foremost are identified with Lynchburg. Thank you all for serving on the inaugural Redistricting Commission. You have the potential to make Virginia a fair maps state. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate you taking the time to tell us about Lynchburg. Okay, now I see a phone number in the attendees. Can we see who that is? If it's one of our individuals who have been unable to connect.
Shay, do you have an update on that phone number? And Madam Chair, we apologize for, this, we're trying to help, to move things along. So, and Shay's trying to do a couple things at one time. So,
Hello.
Hello, who are we speaking with?
This is Jeffrey Rosner.
Okay, Mr. Rosner. Excellent. Mr.
Yeah,
Rosner.
the other link didn't work, so I did it by phone instead.
Well, thank you for staying with us and making this work out. So could you tell us where you're from?
Yes, from Lynchburg.
Okay, and what do you want us to know about Lynchburg?
Well, we're concerned about the way the way the current districts affect Lynchburg. Should I make my intended statement or should I wait?
Absolutely, right now, you're up.
Go ahead. Okay, thank you. There was a lot of controversy about the constitutional amendment which established the commission. One of the arguments that the opponents of the amendment made was that the amendment would not eliminate gerrymandering. Under the current legislative districts, the city of Lynchburg is a victim of gerrymandering. It is chopped up 4 ways. Now, this gives the commission an opportunity. If the commission puts all of Lynchburg within one House of Delegates district and within one state Senate district, that would send a positive message that gerrymandering is eliminated. It will increase public confidence in the redistricting process, and also will create districts which better represent a community of interest with greater influence for the more urban and more racially diverse city of Lynchburg. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate your comment. And with that, I don't see Mr. Bestpitch or Mr. Wright. I don't see that they've joined us. Would that be accurate, Ms. Capers?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, we do not have any other individuals signed up or that I can see in the attendees. At this time, I would just thank everyone for coming and remind everyone that we are receiving many emails, daily emails from people across the Commonwealth, and to encourage anyone who wasn't able to participate today to continue sending those emails. If you have something to say, if you weren't able to make it today, or any other location that we're focusing on in the future, continue to send those emails, send them to the redistricting email, put them on the website, and we are reading them. We will consider all of them when we go back to the drawing board and get all of the data and start drawing maps. So just because you didn't get your opportunity today doesn't mean you are missing out. Hopefully anyone who wants to say something will have that opportunity either in writing or in one of the upcoming meetings. Amigo, is there anything else we need to discuss before signing off, or do any of the other commissioners have anything else?
We don't have anything on this end, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone from any other commissioners have any comment or anything they would wish to bring up before we sign off on this hearing?
Just glad I didn't have to drive anywhere for this one, so.
Fair enough. Okay, so this is convenient for everyone. Very good. Well, thank you all for setting this time aside to.
Madam Chair, I think
Yes.
I see that Mr. Bestpitch may be back.
Let's see. I don't.
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can.
Okay, here we go.
Very
Sorry
good.
about that. I'm not sure what happened. My computer decided to need to reboot itself. But thank you very much for the opportunity to address the commission. My name is Bill Bestpitch, and I serve as a member of Roanoke City Council. Following the 2008 and 2012 presidential elections, City Council heard from numerous voters who waited for extended periods of time, hours, to cast their votes. Some said that they were not able to wait due to job or family requirements, so they were not able to vote at all. At that time, Roanoke had 32 precincts, some with fewer than 1,000 voters and some with approximately 3,500 voters. The larger precincts were the ones that experienced the greatest delays in voting, and most of them were majority African-American precincts. Working with the Electoral Board and our General Registrar, we revised our precinct lines so that we now have 20 precincts with an average of approximately 2,500 voters in each precinct. We have not experienced any significant wait times for voters since the new precinct lines went into effect. All our elections for mayor, city council members, and constitutional officers are conducted at large. All of the city is in the 21st District of the Virginia Senate and the 6th Congressional District. 8 of our 20 precincts are split between the 11th and 17th House of Delegates districts. We respectfully request that the commission simply follow our precinct lines when drawing districts for the General Assembly and Congress. Thank you very much for your time and your patience.
And thank you for making the effort to come and talk to us, even after having some technical issues. So thank you for that. Okay, does anyone else have anything to say or contribute before we sign off here today? Okay, not seeing any hands. Ms. Harris, you've gone off mute.
Nope, I was just getting ready to sign off, but go Hokies. There we go.
Okay, nice to see everyone and have a good day. I'm signing off. We are adjourned.